To the moon, one human family. On to Mars, one human family. Asteroids, one human family. Jupiter, one human family. Saturn's rings, one human family. Uranus, one human family. Neptune, one human family. Kuiper Belt, one human family. Planet 9, one human family. Planet 10, one human family. Back to Earth, one human family. Here we come, one human family. To the moon, one human family. Back to Earth, one human family. To the moon, one human family. Back to Earth, one human family. To the moon, 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 one human family. Let's go to the moon. Let's go to the moon. Let's leave Earth and go to the moon. Let's leave Earth. Let's just leave. Let's leave this whole place and let's go to the moon. Let's leave Earth. Let's leave this planet. This amazing, wonderful, awesome, incredible, beach-filled, flower-having, bee-buzzing, fruit-delicious, people-lovely planet Earth and go to the barren rock, the moon. Is that a good idea? Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I think I was just thinking out loud. Was I talking to you? Were you thinking what I was thinking, that we should go to the moon? Were you thinking we should go to the moon? Were you thinking we should go to another planet? Were you thinking we should go to Mars? Were you thinking we should go to Jupiter? Were you thinking we should go to anywhere else but Earth? Is that what you were thinking? That we should go anywhere else but Earth? You ever have one of those days where you wake up and you think, I wish I was anywhere else but here? Do you ever have one of those days where you wake up and you think, I wish I was anywhere else but here? Well, I want you to know, that's not why oh, hi, my name is Mike Mongo. I'm an astronaut teacher. Oh, what? You want to be an astronaut? You want to go to space when you grow up? Wow. That's perfect. Me and you. Oh, wow. I am an astronaut teacher and you want to go to space. That worked out perfectly. Timing is everything. You made it here right on time. Yeah, so here's what I was thinking. Like, sometimes I wake up and I am feeling kind of icky. Icky is the right word. And then I brush my teeth, and then I take my shower or jump in the pool or go for a run or sometimes I dance, and then all of a sudden I don't feel icky anymore. And that is one of the reasons I love being me. That's one of the reasons I love being a human being. That's one of the reasons I love being right here on this planet Earth. That's one of the reasons I love that I get to talk with you. Because I don't know that everybody shares with you how it is to be you. I don't know if anybody talks about, like, what's it like to be you? What is it like to be you? And so I think before we even talk about something like what's it like to be you or what's it like to be me, we get to think about where we are. Because sometimes when you feel one way, you think, I wish I was someplace else. And right now on planet Earth, I think there's a whole bunch of people that think that they wish they were someplace else. I've heard people say that they wish they were on Mars. And Mars doesn't even have any air to breathe. Mars doesn't even have any air to breathe. And you wish you were on Mars? Aren't we lucky to be here? Remember what we were talking about with breathing? In through the nose. Let the bad out through the mouth. Let the bad out through the mouth. In through the nose. Let the bad out through the mouth. Well, listen. As cool as that is, oh, did you just do that with me? I hope you just did that with me. I hope you, since me and you are together right here, right now, on this planet Earth, you being you and me being me, and this Earth being as amazing a place as it is, with atmosphere, I hope that you took a nose breathe in, and then blow it out. And then blow it out. I hope you did that. Because if you did, you probably feel like I do right now, which is really good. I cannot help but smile when I take a big nose breathe in. I mean, it's like my lips are tingling right now. My whole face is broken out in a smile, and that is only possible right here on planet Earth. Theoretically, you could be in an astronaut suit and do the exact same thing. Like with a helmet, you probably get spit right here on your helmet, and you can't wipe it off because you know. So on Mars, you can't do that. There's no other place in the whole solar system, in our neighborhood, there's no other place besides Earth that we can do that. Not without a helmet, and not for any length of time. Like with a helmet, we get to refill it with oxygen. An astronaut uniform has its own atmosphere. It has pressure, because there's vacuum, and so we need pressure to keep everything together. The suit, an astronaut suit, is all pressured. Even the new ones that SpaceX have that look flexible, pressured. And that keeps everything together in space, because the vacuum would kind of just draw us out, make us inflate, really. So when people say they would rather be someplace else besides Earth, where? Not Mars. No atmosphere. Not the moon. No atmosphere. You know what? You can't even, I love space so much. You know I love space. I love space. And I love the moon. And I think Mars is cool. I don't really desire to go there. It would probably be cool. But it takes 8 months to get there. And I mean, because of pandemic, you've been in your place. I've been sheltering right here in Spaceship Studio. And I get to go to the grocery store every so often. And this is my spaceship. And your spaceship is where you live. And we get antsy inside this little tiny space right here. And it's not so tiny. Look, remember this right here, the blue line I put down on the ground? My friend, Mr. Ross, said, "What are those blue lines on the ground?" The other day, he saw the show. And I said, "That's the size of the Apollo 11 capsule." And 3 people lived in that space. Remember how I told you about that? 3 people lived in here. Look, me and you and one other person. Are there 2 of you watching? All 3 of us living in here for 8 months to Mars. That's it. That's all the space we would have. Plus all the stuff we have to bring with us. We get to bring with us. Who wants to do that? Not me. I would go to the moon. It takes 3 days to get to the moon and back. 3 days to the moon, spend a couple days at the moon, and then come back. Wow, that would be great. I could do that, but I'm coming back. Because Earth is a place that is amazing. If there was, when we read stories about magic, you couldn't write a better magic story than the story of planet Earth. That's a great magic story. The story of planet Earth. That is a magic story. Earth. Look at this. Check this out. Watch this. I love this. Those are my sunlights. See those sunlights up there? Let's see if we can see the sky. Let's see if it turns blue. Well, I know what I can do. I can open up my spaceship door and see the sky right there. See the sky right there? See the sky back there? All of that's only on planet Earth. Like if we go to if we go somewhere, like I don't really want to travel unless I have a spaceship as big as an island that has all of those trees that you saw and has its own atmosphere and has brooks, which is a stream. Like these are things to think about when we talk about going to space. When we're talking about living, working, and playing in space, we're talking about making a spaceship that is so wonderful that it's like living in a tiny planet. I'm not talking about going in a little tiny spaceship to go to Mars that doesn't have atmosphere, that is very, very cold, and I'm a warm person. I'm the type of person, what kind of person are you? Are you the type of person who likes cold or the type of person who likes warm? It's really a good question. And it's something that people don't talk about all the time when we talk about leaving the planet Earth. Especially when things are just busy or crazy or way too excited on planet Earth. When things are too excited, people are like, gosh, I wish I was anywhere else in the solar system. I got a new cord. I put a new cord in, and apparently it didn't stay in place. Oh, that's good. I want to show you a video today. I got a video about this guy named Johnny Appleseed that I met. Now the funny thing is, Johnny Appleseed died like 1840, I think. Maybe 1856, if I recall correctly. Maybe 1856. I have to look it up. Johnny Appleseed. And I was born in 1965. So how could I met this guy? Well, that's a great question. How I met him is I went and researched his history and see what he was all about. Let me look up Johnny Appleseed and find when he was here. And when I found out all about him, I started to learn more and more and more. I started to talk with people who talk with people who talk with people who knew him. I met a 92-year-old person named Dick Algeo whose great-grandmother met Johnny Appleseed. How about that? He passed away in 1845. All right, so look at this. My friend Ross, Mr. Ross, he and I were having a conversation the other day, and he's like, Mike, you should show them the story of Johnny Appleseed. I was like, oh, I can do that. So I put this television together just for that. Let's see what we can make happen today. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the world right now. And me personally, I hear people talk about how they'd rather be someplace besides planet Earth. And I just gotta let you know, there's some really cool stuff going on this planet. There's a lot of things that are possible when we put our mind to it. Let's see what we got here. And one person can make all the difference in the world. You all know what this is. YouTube.
Let it be known that Mike Mongo, that's me, that annually empowered thousands of students in classrooms all over the world, that's you, to develop an explorer's mindset to pursue astronautic careers and to live, work, and play in space. Mike Mongo will lead an initiative to send Appleseed from Johnny Appleseed's apple trees up to space, return to the Earth for distribution to participating schools for planning and further study.
So, like, have you ever eaten one of these trees?
We made some applesauce with them not long ago. A couple weeks ago, yeah, we made up some applesauce, turned them into some cookies, and it turned out quite nice.
This is one of the coolest things in the world. This tree, this is the last known remaining living apple tree planted by Johnny Appleseed. There's a piece of wood from the original tree. This tree has been hit by lightning and survived This is an amazing tree, and we have a bag full of apples, and we're sending those apples to space. And then we're going to bring it back down and then distribute them to participating schools to plant as Johnny Appleseed Space Apple trees. Johnny Appleseed Space Apple trees. Wow. What an honor. Thank you. Thank you, Johnny Appleseed.
Wyatt.
Wyatt?
Yeah.
Man, you're my people, you know that.
Yeah.
My name is Mike Mongo.
Well, nice to
I'm an
meet
astronaut teacher. No, it's nice to meet you.
you. Oh, okay.
I'm so honored to be here. I'm here because the Valley University has put this together, this project together, Johnny Appleseed in Space.
We have the United States. We have the U.S. America. We have U.S. America because of Johnny Appleseed. He did it for 45 years of his life. He dedicated himself to it, and we don't even know why. And maybe somebody in this room has a passion about like this is going to get us to space and carry peace and love.
We're taking those seeds, we're sending the seeds from a tree that a person planted, Johnny Appleseed, 200 years ago, and we're going to send them up to space, and then we're going to bring those seeds back, and we're going to plant them in the ground, and we're going to grow Johnny Appleseed Space Apple trees.
It's my job to give you permission to imagine yourself to live, work, and play in space. It's my job to inspire you. And so I realized that here's this guy who, as a teenager, walked across the United States and planted all these, it wasn't all the United States then. It wasn't even some states. He walked through frontier land with rattlesnakes and bears and wolves alone and planted these seeds. And the funny thing about these seeds, the interesting thing about these apple seeds, is in order to claim territory back in the day, you had to have 50 fruit trees growing on your property. And so he just went that, no one paid him to do that. He had a vision. And this is how the United States formed, because this one person, if you have any doubts that one person can make a difference in the world. This is where you get to make the mistakes, and it doesn't cost you everything. If you make the kind of mistakes that, if we as grown-ups over here, if we made the kind of mistakes that you guys get to make every day, we would lose our house, we would lose our car, we would lose our job. But we put this whole thing together as grown-ups, this whole thing that you get to put together for the kids that come after you. We put it all together, all of us grown-ups on this planet. We work to put these things together so that you can do these things. You can wake up in your morning and you can say to your mom or dad, oh my gosh, if you say thank you or please, if you say good morning, if you say the magic words, you know what the magic words is? Not please or thank you, here it is. The magic words that change people's lives, the grown-ups in your life. You have this power. You say these words, and I know it's a challenge, and you mean it from your heart, and it's going to change a person's day and often their life. When a student says to a grown-up who really is working for them, I love you, there is no greater value in the entire world. Nothing. We all do this because we were you once, and we want you to succeed. Look at all these superpowers I'm bestowing upon you today. You have permission to imagine yourself. Yes. Did you hear that, what I just said? The most important thing in the world that we can say to one another, the most important thing that you can say to the people in your life, like you and me sitting here watching this together, right? And maybe there's a grown-up in the room with you who's taking care of you and making your life happen. Making your life happen. And the most important words, people call them magic words, most important words, please and thank you, are great. They're super important. But the real ones that matter are I love you. When you say it and it comes from the heart, when you say it when you really mean it, there's nothing better in the entire world. And that's what we need in the world, is love. It's what makes Earth awesome. It's not only that we have atmosphere here, and it's not only that we have water, and we have beaches, and we have clouds, and we have sky, and we have trees, and we have you, and we have me. It's we have love here. Now, wherever we go, we carry love with us, for sure, 100%. When Johnny Appleseed went around the country, one person and planted all those apple seeds that turned into places that people made homes And then those homes turned into communities. And those communities turned into states. And those states turned into a nation. That was because that person had love. That person had a love for you, and he lived 200 years ago. More than 200 years ago. No, 1856, 1956, almost 200 years ago. He died in 1856. He planted all those trees, and none of this would be here we wouldn't be having this conversation without this one person. That person didn't do that to make money. That person did that because they had a vision. They had a vision for the future which was worth working for. That person imagined you somehow. That person, Johnny Appleseed. It could have been Jane Appleseed. It could have been Jemiah, Jamil, Jerome, Jerron, Jerry, Janie. That person could have been you. Looking forward into the future and seeing the next generation and the next generation and seeing that these apple seeds that this person planted is going to turn into something more than they can even imagine. There's this powerful saying that a wise person plants trees in whose shades they know they will never sit. Because it takes so long to grow a tree, but that person's not planting a tree for them. They're planting it for somebody in the future. And that's what Johnny Appleseed did. And that's what you can do. Do you know that when you tell somebody that you love them, you're planting a seed? And when you tell somebody when you express anger or meanness to somebody, it takes a seed out of the ground. Like, it just works that way. So every seed that Johnny Appleseed planted was a thought for one of us. Do you know he planted millions of apple seeds? One person for 40 years. That's all he did was plant apple seeds. And because of that, we have apples. And because of that apple, we have the apple industry. Because of those apples, we have applesauce. Because of those apples, people were able to claim territory, make houses, build fences, feed others. There's amazing things that can happen from one person. You know, sometimes people move someplace and they claim territory and they say, this is mine, that's not yours anymore. That's happened in history. It has happened. It happens. And it's not fair. But there's another way to do it. When something's not being used and you see it, and you're like, you know what, I can make that better. And maybe it's not going to be better for me today, but maybe it's going to be better for the whole future. And that's what Johnny Appleseed did. And so I want you to know about this because there's all kinds of let me show you. I'll show you the 3 important things. I was going to talk to you today about math. I even got it written right up here. Let me show you this. 3 important things. Get ready. First of all, let's write down this one right here. I think my green is working. Let's see. These things leak, but that's okay. I'm going to do Earth as green. That's fine. It could be any color because Earth has got all the colors. Earth. This T could be a little more. We'll put a little more T there. All right, Earth. Got it? The other thing I was going to talk to you about is the moon. The moon, I'm going to draw it black. Beautiful color. People say black and white are not colors, but I think black and white are colors. And then the last thing I was going to talk to you about is, well, I'm going to call it love, okay? And I draw love with red. Love. Now the moon, the moon could really be everywhere. Look at this. You ready? Are you ready? Everywhere else. Everywhere else. I should probably make that a small e. Everywhere else. Oh, and then I messed up the S. Hold on. Hold that thought. Hold that thought in this important subject that we're tying in together. The earth, the moon, and love. This could be everywhere else, but Earth is, Earth is going to be this. This is going to be my favorite thing about Earth. Get ready. I'm going to put this in blue. Earth me and you. Me and you. This is, and so we can just put us. Us. I love us. And then this thing right here, love. I love that symbol. How does this all tie together? What's the math? What's the math for Earth, Moon, and love? Well, see this amazing place right here, Earth? This is the only place where me and you are. This is the only place where our family is. This is the only place where our dogs and our cats and our birds and and the things we love. This is the only place our teachers are. This is the place. It is worth everything. Earth has worth. It is. Earth is birth. Okay, Earth is a great, wonderful place. And the moon doesn't really have this. The moon doesn't have this. But you add this and this, Earth and Moon, and you get this. Because anywhere this goes, this goes. So if you add the Earth and the Moon, you bring love. Anywhere this goes, this goes. But the only reason to go anywhere else besides here is to bring this. That is the only reason. There is no other reason. If we're going to go to other planets just to make money, man, that's not, woman, robot, that's not worth it. It is not worth it because this place is too great. There's no other place that like it that we know of in the universe. That we know of. We imagine there's probably someplace like this. This place is so special that one person can go around and plant apple seeds for 40 years and make such a difference that you and me can have a conversation right now. It doesn't even make any sense. How does that connect? How does planting an apple seed, oh, by the way, let me show you something. Remember the blackberries we put in the growing? Look, they got roots. See the roots? Can you see the roots? Our blackberries are growing. We got these from the store. Remember, today is June 3rd. This is May 22nd. This is when we put them in here. I put a little more water in here, but can you see the roots? Like, this is how we make a difference. I got these seeds free from the grocery store. They were in my blackberries. And now I've got the starting of blackberry bushes. We're gonna put these in soil. We're gonna grow blackberries right here. These are space seeds. This is what we're bringing to space. We're doing it right here on Earth. Every mission is like a space mission because we practice how we want to, what we want to be, how we want to be in space and what we want to be bringing. Every little thing we do, every mission, everything you do, when you live at your house, oh, this is a good one. Here, follow me. Let's go in the wardrobe real quick. I'll put the seeds back. When you at your house, how you take care of your house is how you want to live in space. You know, here's an interesting thing. I hear a lot of people comment on my bed and how it's made all the time. Do you know I love making my bed? I really love making my bed. You know why? It's simple. I learned it in the military. I was in the Army, as you know. So what I learned was that it is very nice to have someplace to come home. It makes it a place worth coming home to. Having a made bed makes my spaceship studio a place worth coming home to. I do something in the morning. I delight in making my bed. I delight in it. Like, how is your room? Is your room a mess? I mean, it's fun to have a room that you play in all the time. But you know how you feel after you clean your room, how good it feels? You can make a mess again. And the planet is kind of like that. Planet Earth is kind of like that. We played hard, and now it's time to clean it up a little bit. And here's another thing. You ever have your room a mess and then your parents are like, we're not going anywhere until you clean up your room? Well, the earth is our room. It's our spaceship studio. So how can we go anywhere else if we don't clean up our own mess on this planet first? We learned it when we were kids. We're not going anywhere until we clean up the room. You kids are not going anywhere until you clean this spaceship. And so it's me. You kids are not going anywhere until you clean this spaceship. And I agree. It's time to clean the spaceship. And another thing is, if I'm fighting with my sister or my brother, am I allowed to go anywhere? Am I allowed to go, or do we go on fun adventures when I'm fighting with my sister and my brother? Do we ever do that? Never. Never. Mom and dad are going to be like, nope, we're not going. We're just not going. It's not a problem. It's pretty cool, actually, how they do that. Yeah, we're not going. It's cool. You're like, what? It's not cool? Well, can you guys get it together? That's a good question. Look at us on the planet right now. People are fighting right now. People are fighting. They're not saying the magic words, I love you. Do you know there's no one on the planet I don't love? I love everybody. There's no one on this whole planet that I don't love. I love everybody. I love even look, I've got people who are mean to me. I got people who are mean to me. I got people who have been rotten. I got people who, I'm a grown up, so I've done business. So I've had business deals and people have stolen money from me. And I'm not mad at those people even. I'm not mad. Because I'm just not mad. That's the thing. It doesn't mean that I do the same thing that makes me feel bad again. Like I didn't like having money stolen from me. So I don't do it again. Not that way. I'll find somebody else that wants to play in the business's play. So I'll find someone else to play business with. So, and the same thing is with arguing. You know, I don't really like to argue. So if I'm hanging out with somebody and I argue a lot, I go find something else to do. That's the thing. Now, if I'm in my own bedroom and someone comes in my bedroom and starts taking my stuff or messing with my stuff or messing with me, what am I supposed to do? That's different. I got to get some help then. I got to find some assistance. That's fair. That's totally fair. Do I fight with them? Not usually. Not usually, no. Now, if somebody's hurting my sister or my brother, they'll probably get my attention. I agree. Most of the time, I go get help. And by go get help, I mean like this. Hey, Mom. Well, when I was you, that's what I did. Hey, Mom. Or if it was just me, I would stand up for my brother and sister. I just would. That's just who I am. And sometimes they would stand up for me, even though I'm older. We get to stand up for each other. Wow. And you got to understand that this is us as earthlings. And if we want to be spacelings, we're humankind. And if we want to be space kind, we have to act right, get our room clean, get our spaceship cleaned before we go and visit someplace else. We can't leave when it's a mess, and we can't act a mess. We can't act a mess and go anywhere else either. We get to be nice and we get to be civil and we get to be kind with one another. One of the interesting things about Johnny Appleseed is that Johnny Appleseed was always kind. He was always like, how may I help you? He was always like that. He was just a helpful person. And I'm sure you're a helpful person too. How do you help? Do you help around the house? Do you ask your dad or your mom or your grandma or your grandpa or your abuela or your abuelo or your tío or your tía? How may I help? How may I help? Or can I help? I have an older son. His name is Ravon Jones. I love him dearly. And one of the things I always say about Ravon is that he runs to help. In Jamaica, where he's from, he would run all over the neighborhood to help people. He would run all over the neighborhood to help people. People would call his name, Ravon, all the time. And I don't know that I've met another student like that, even though he's my son. I don't know that I have. I have all these amazing students in my life, and each one is different and special. My son Ravon, he's 9, excuse me. My son Raphael, he's 9. My 9-year-old son is Raphael. Raphael is a dream come true. And he's a different person. And he's helpful, he's kind, he's generous. And he has bad days, and we walk each other through it. And his sister is Iana. She's 6. She has bad days. And everybody works to help her through her bad days. So do you know how cool it would be if Earthlings were famous for being helpful? What if you became the Earthling who taught us all how to be helpful? What if you were that? Am I talking to the helpful Earthling right now? Who makes Earthlings famous for being helpful? Who shows us that we're on a spaceship right now? It's called Planet Earth, and it's the best spaceship in the whole universe that we know of. Is that you? Are you going to show the world how it's done? Are you going to bring love to the moon? Are you going to carry seeds and plants? Are you going to practice planting seeds here using stuff right out of the kitchen, like you get a pepper and get seeds, dry them out, put them in water? Are you going to do that? Are you going to show us all how to grow seeds better? Is that you? It would be super cool if it's you. When you are talking and thinking about math, and you're talking about thinking about love, and you're talking and thinking about the moon, and you're talking and thinking about human beings, and you're talking and thinking about Earth, you're really talking and thinking about what is possible. You're talking and thinking about ideas and who you are and what it means. And all of that together, all that complexity, all of that wonder is what makes us special as Earthlings. Not that it all makes sense. That's not the point. Not that it makes sense to us. But I want you to know that if you stepped away from the planet Earth and you looked at us, there's something called the overview effect. And you looked at us all, you would see that it all ties together really beautifully. It ties together in the most special way. Us being wrong, us being right, you being you, me being me. And when we look at it that way, and then we see that we have something really special here and worth working through and taking care of and cleaning, then suddenly, and this is the point, we see that there's something really special about this place that's worth sharing with the rest of the universe. And that's the important point of this whole talk, this whole day, is that no matter what else is going on in the world, and no matter how angry people get or upset or mean or how sad people get sometimes, that all of those emotions and those feelings come from us. All of the stories and all the experiences come from our stories and our experience. It's us. It's you. You're part of this. You get to tell the story. You get to be part of the cleaning up. You have inside of you the thing that makes us worth having. It's why I have these conversations. It's why I make this stuff up as I go along. It's why I play. Because it's fun. Because it's worth celebrating. It's worth having. It's worth you being you. That's why it's fun to breathe. Not everything in the whole world is supposed to make sense. The only thing that really matters is that you know that you're loved. Is that how people think of you. How your behavior reflects on who you are and why you're here. So if your behavior doesn't match who you are, then we get to change that. We do that all the time as grown-ups. And if ideas don't make sense to you, then we get to discuss them, like math. When you have questions, ask them. And when you have solutions, share them. I heard my alarm go off, and I had a question today. A friend of mine delivered a question. Her name is Devin, and she asked, if we send something into the universe and send it really fast, if we had something like a quarter, like a bottle cap, and made it really fast, would it have its own orbit? Now, it's an interesting question. Would a thing have its own orbit just by going fast? Okay, so there is something, like if you have something that is small, like say a bottle cap, and you put it close to something really big that has a lot of mass, like the sun, it becomes attracted, the gravity of the sun, all that mass, the sun has the most mass of anything on the planet. All that mass will attract the bottle cap or whatever small thing, including asteroids or comets or spaceships if it's too close, into the sun. So you have to have something called escape velocity. And so if you're going fast enough, you can go past the sun without getting drawn into it. If a bottle cap was going fast enough, it could go right past the sun. Now we use something called escape velocity to, like we'll send a spaceship towards the sun and then use the gravity of the sun to get like a whiplash effect to make it throw us further away than we would ever go without if the sun wasn't there. We use the gravity of the sun to draw us in, and then we shoot away from the sun as a spaceship. We've done it many times. It's pretty cool. So if you go fast enough, you will have your own orbit. But if you go really fast, then you won't you escape the gravity of, say, the sun in our solar system, and then you won't have an orbit per se because you're going so fast that you're moving past the gravity, past the pull of gravity. You have to. The slower you go, the more powerful gravity has a pull on you. Even when you're going fast, gravity's still going to affect your direction. You have to adjust. We get to adjust for it. When we're driving spaceships past any big body, the moon is a big body, the Earth is a big body. To get off the planet, we have to have rockets that go really, really hard. They fire. They're very strong rockets to defeat gravity. And then once we get past the gravity into low Earth orbit, then we can fly around really easy once we get away from the gravity. Once you get too close, you're drawn in. So if you go fast enough, if you go the right speed, you'll keep an orbit. Like the Earth is moving fast enough so it stays in one place as it orbits the sun. And then the other planets are big enough that they're staying in one place. And then all the planets, by being in one place, keep the other planets where they are too. There's a really amazing balance in the universe. In between Mars and Jupiter, there's an asteroid belt, and that's kept there because the gravity of Mars, the gravity of the sun, and the gravity of Jupiter are all working together, along with the mass of the asteroids themselves, because they also have mass, to keep them in place. They're in an orbit between Mars and Jupiter, around the sun, all the way around, like a belt. That's why it's called the asteroid belt. So that was a pretty good question. It has been a funny day. The Earth is an amazing place, and it is important to remember that before we think about going anywhere else. And that is our show for the day. Today is just one of those days that I wanted to talk to you about Johnny Appleseed today because of the amazing things he accomplished. I especially wanted to talk to you about Johnny Appleseed today because I don't know what's going on in your world right now. And I need to let you know that one person with love in their heart, I need to let you know that one person with love in their heart is the thing that changes everything always. So if you have love in your heart, you can figure anything out. As I tell Raphael all the time, if you have love in your heart, you cannot be defeated. When we have love in our heart, we cannot be defeated. Okay? So keep up the good work. Remember that. Earth is a place worth keeping in shape. We can't go anywhere else until the room is clean, and Earth is our room. And we're not going anywhere if we're fighting. So we got to get over that too. I love you. In the words of my people, pow, pow, pow.